Welcome back inside the MMA War Room for another preview for a UFC card. Been a minute since we've done this. We had a week off last week. Now we are back with Srikar, Rajendran, and Chris Shroyer. I'm Sam Corcoran.
It's been a while for all three of us to be on.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I mean, we've been all
Sam,
busy.
we missed you, bro.
I know, bro. It's been a minute, dude. I feel like I've been missing out. But guess what? I'm back because we have a banger card to talk about. UFC is back in Europe, in Paris. They're in Paris around this time last year. And you have a potential title eliminator. I say potential. We'll get a little more into that in the middleweight division. Guys, what are your overall thoughts on the card? Personally, it doesn't look – it reminds me of that Apex card in August where Tatsuro Taira fought Hyung-Sun Park, where it's not as star-studded as you think it is. But then you look down the card, it's a deep card, boys. This is what I'm really excited for. It's a deep card. You have star power at the top. Middle, not as much star power, but it's deep. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, Andreas Gustafsson versus Rinat Fakhridinov is the second fight on the prelims. So I think that goes to show you how good this card is.
Yeah, I believe I have the winner of that if I check.
But what's crazy is that they put that so buried on the prelims, and then you have guys like Balajioki versus Mason Jones and Paul Craig on the main card. Like,
right.
I personally don't agree with it. We'll get into it more when we get to.
I have that fight. I have the winner of that fight. I won't spoil my pick yet, but I have the winner of that fight getting a ranked opportunity, and it's on the second on the prelims.
Maybe there's big stakes even on the prelims. When you have that sort of thing going for you, you know the fight night's a good card. Yeah. So overall,
I mean, this is a prelim, and this is a prelim in Junior Tafa. All right, never mind. Well,
guess what? This is in France too. The French crowd. I think the crowd in France is a top 3 crowd across the world for MMA.
You guys, if you guys have not seen them singing the French national anthem during Cyril Gane's fight, pause this video, go watch that out, and come back to that. You pause it, you're back. Okay, how amazing was that? I mean, come on now.
It gives you chills, man. I love it.
It gives you chills. It's also just
like I'm watching a soccer game, but I'm watching 2 guys fight instead. It's awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah, but this is like you talk about this home crowd advantage. It means a lot in Paris.
100%. I agree with both you guys. I think this is a very deep card. There are going to be a lot of debuts on this card, which I think is definitely something to look forward to. A lot of people trying to make a splash in the UFC, and some of them are highly touted fighters. I don't even want to say prospects because these guys are accomplished in their various promotions. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they fare in the UFC. We know that Bellator doesn't really have a good track record for UFC debuts. But let's see if some of these other promotions can get themselves on the map and show that they're a pipeline to the UFC. So I'm really excited. And I think Sam's spreadsheet making the podcast was cash minus 10 million. Love the spreadsheet. Wait, who do you have Gustafsson and Rinat fighting the winner?
I have the winner of that. I'll get into it later. We'll get to the pick.
All right. Sorry, I got.
Hey, can we also get an update on where we stand with picks? Because I'm gonna go out and say I've changed my whole method to doing picks. I know Chris has said it before, but sometimes I tell you guys these picks and then I change them the next day. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing it anymore. I made sure I'm doing all my research beforehand. We're good to go.
If you guys are confused why I'm wearing a football jersey, we are recording on Thursday, September 4th. This will be posted Friday, September 5th, but tonight is the opening night of the NFL. I am a Cowboys fan. I'm wearing an Amari Cooper Cowboys jersey. He just retired. Coop, you're the man. Best of luck in everything you do. But yeah, just had to shout him out because he was one of my favorite players.
Yeah,
so
happy NFL kickoff day to all those around the world.
Give that a big thumbs up. And
Chris is a Cowboys fan. Me and Sam are 49ers fans, so we're patiently waiting for Sunday. But we got MMA in the meantime.
So boom. I believe with the picks, I'm trying to do my math fast. I want to keep the podcast rolling.
Big Shaq, quick math.
But it's all neck and neck. We're all around the 70 win mark. I think Srikar had the best in the last fight. I believe Srikar is got 2 up on Chris. So Srikar, that would mean Srikar and Chris are tied. And I
think you're up 1.
I think I'm up. I think you're 1 up on me. So I think I'm up on you by 1.
Okay.
So then,
because I picked
both of us by 1.
So we're all neck and neck going into this.
We're all neck and neck.
I'll throw it out there. Rest of the year, I'm winning picks.
You heard it here first. We might come back to that a little later. Let's not waste any more time. Get into these picks. Starting off in the women's division, Shauna Bannon taking on Sam Hughes. This is a good one. I mean, it's strawweight and the most loaded division in the UFC, as I like to say. No, I'm just kidding. But I like this. It's Shauna Bannon's an intriguing prospect, 7-1, going up against a vet in Sam Hughes, who, let's be real, hasn't proven too much in the UFC. I like this. It's kind of tough. Sam Hughes is the favorite here. I think I'm going to take the underdog. I'm going to go Shauna Bannon by decision. I really like what I've seen. I also think, I mean, you mentioned the European crowd. I think that's going to help a little bit. Not too much. There's Irish. It's also early prelims. Like, you never know. But I like Shauna Bannon. I think this goes to decision either way. So give me Shauna Bannon by decision to start this one off. We'll go with the young prospect.
Yeah, I mean, Chris, you want me to go or you got it?
You got it, bro. You got it.
I'm going with Sam Hughes. This is actually Sam Hughes' first time ever being a betting favorite in the UFC.
Which is
She's
crazy.
always been this gritty underdog that pulls off wins people don't expect. And here she gets someone in Shauna Bannon who, let's be honest, has looked like a pretty inflated prospect so far, at least in my eyes. Bannon's 7-1, but I think the record's a bit deceiving. She could have easily lost the Alice Ardeline fight. She got dropped by Pooja Tamar. Shout out Pooja Tamar, only Indian woman in the UFC, before pulling off that Hail Mary sub.
Yes.
And even in her win, like, there's stuff to nitpick. Hughes, meanwhile, has beat girls like Jacqueline Amarim, Yasmin Lucindo, Emily Ducote. Solid names. Like, she knows how to make fights gritty, get inside, and dominate in the clinch. I think she'll be able to outwork Bannon up close and maybe even win some rounds with top control. So I'll say Sam Hughes by a gritty decision. I just don't buy into Shauna Bannon's hype at all. Hughes is the better all-around fighter, and this is finally a spot where she should shine as the betting favorite. I still find that crazy. She's never been a betting favorite in the UFC until now. I think I just have to take it here.
Yeah, that's interesting too, because she's not like a small favorite. She is a massive favorite. So that is definitely something to look out for.
She's not that massive. She's at she is a massive favorite.
Yeah, she's a massive favorite. Yeah.
So I'm going with a heavy underdog. Damn, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So wow, this is gonna be crazy. It's already parody right off the bat.
Baby.
Damn, that's awesome.
Love it.
Yeah, this is definitely gonna be a gritty fight, and I think it comes down to one thing: how well Shauna Bannon feeds off of the European crowd. I think European fighters do a great job of that. I'm also taking a stab on the underdog. I'm going to go Shauna Bannon by decision.
Woo!
I think that Hughes has great experience, and Srikar, you mentioned a lot of her wins, and I think those should be held like in high content, or they should be rated highly or ranked highly amongst, fans and matchmakers. However, I think that her strong grappling base just doesn't, it doesn't give me enough to be okay, wow, she's just going to go out there and straight up kind of like dog her. She's done enough to win fights, not resoundingly win fights. I feel like she does enough to get by. And I think that Bannon, she's very unorthodox in terms of striking. She's a high volume striker. I think her leg kicks are really going to play a role in this. And when you chop the legs, it makes it hard to move, especially for a grappler. That's where most of your power comes from. The pressure and speed, I think, will be a little too much, and she's going to feed off the crowd. So I think Bannon's explosiveness is going to get it done here. So I'm going to go Shauna Bannon plus 270 dog.
Yeah, that's crazy. Right. I think this fight's going to be a lot closer than that. I mean, to me, it felt like I don't want to disrespect Sam Hughes because she is one of the greatest fighters in the strawweight division, has proven a lot, also has shown that she is beatable. We'll put it that way, with 6 losses, a 10-6 record.
So is Shauna Bannon.
I mean, Shauna Bannon has shown that she is beatable as well. But at the same, I think this could be more of a pick 'em. I don't like that Sam Hughes is such a heavy favorite. But this was a very hard fight for me to pick. I will put it that way. I just think that the odds are a little inflated in my opinion. But Srikar, you're going with the lone wolf here. Are we getting a howl out of you?
No, you're not.
Ah, damn.
No, come on. I feel like that's a war.
I have to actually get the pick right for me to howl.
Srikar, you had 2 pick in the last predictions episode we did with Shanghai. You got the first 2 picks, Lone Wolf and you howled, and you got them both right. So by saying you're not going to howl.
Yeah, Srikar's 2-0 on howls, bro.
Yeah,
so
Srikar's 2-0 on howls. So
by
keep it at 2-0. Khabib retired when he was 29-0.
That's a good point.
Valid. All right, we'll move on to
the next retiring one. At 2-0 on howls.
Yeah. All right, Andreas Gustafsson versus Rinat Fakhridinov.
Fakhridinov, you got it, Sam.
Fakhridinov, perfect. I think I got it. Two guys that know a lot about winning. In the welterweight division, like I said, I think the winner of this fight's going to get a ranked shot after this, but I won't make the pick first. I'll let Srikar go.
No, I want Chris to go.
Oh, all right.
Chris has been queuing this up for a little bit.
Yeah, I've been talking to Srikar about this for a couple weeks now, actually. Let's see. Rinat Fakhridinov. You look at the record. 23-1-1. He's great. Like, he's a very good fighter. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, one of those wins should not have been a win against Carlos Leal in Abu Dhabi. I will not get over that because that was actually ridiculous.
Oh my God, that's one of the worst decisions ever.
Yes, that is one of the worst decisions ever. But I'm not holding it against him because he was not the one judging the fight. He survived beautifully. Fakhridinov, he has cardio concerns. He can get outpaced. He has less like knockout power. He has power, but he's not going to come out and flatline you with one punch. But on the other hand, he's extremely well-rounded. Like he adapts beautifully, has a good wrestling pedigree, even though he has cardio concerns, which is a little bit interesting. And he has a lot of experience in the UFC. He's never lost in the UFC. So
he's had one fight in the UFC.
Say again?
He's had one fight in the UFC.
Fakhridinov?
No, I thought you were talking about Gustafsson.
No, I'm talking about Fakhridinov. He's 5-0 with 1 no contest in the UFC, so he's never lost. With that being said, this is going to be his first loss in Andreas Gustafsson. Two gritty physical fighters. They have very similar skill sets. Gustafsson, we saw it with the Chaos Williams fight. Relentless pressure, pace, and he's going to trade with anyone. He does not care who you are. He does not care the pedigree of your striking. The wrestling will cancel out here. Rinat's a good wrestler. Gustafsson is strong as an ox. Great wrestling. He can hold you against the fence for however long he wants to. And I think when Fakhridinov, is the better wrestler, he can't control the pace in this fight. And I think that's exactly what plays into Gustafsson's strong suit. He can control the pace and he can trade. So give me Gustafsson to grind it out and get a decision. I don't think Rinat's going to get knocked out, but I think he will get dominated in this fight.
I think Rinat's going to get knocked out. I'll say it right now. I think Gustafsson gets the knockout here. Both these guys have been very impressive in the UFC. Don't get me wrong. Gustafsson has been almost perfect in the UFC, though. And I think that's what separates the good fighter in Rinat Fakhridinov to Andreas Gustafsson, who I believe is a great fighter. Contender series, gets a contract, easy. Has a few canceled bouts, but then fights at UFC 316 and wins that one pretty easily, in my opinion. He takes out, who did he beat again? Chaos Williams, unanimous decision.
He dominated Chaos Williams.
Yeah, dominated that fight. Will it be as dominant this time? I'm not 100% sure, but these guys are very close to the welterweight rankings, and I think these guys are both one away from a ranked shot. This is that one away. I think you get Gustafsson. I'll do an early matchmaking here. Gustafsson and Gilbert Burns, the guy that needs to fight down.
Wow.
A guy, two strikers. I like this a lot, and I think it would help both these guys bump their stock up. As we need to see more Swedish fighters in the UFC getting boosted up. I mean, you have Hamzat, not really Swedish, but still represented Sweden for a little bit.
Yeah, he's not Swedish.
He's not Swedish.
I know. But hey, Sweden loves their MMA. I think this is a great prospect to boost right now, and he's going to get the win on Saturday.
I've played a lot of mind games with Chris recently. I've like told him that I'm going with Gustafsson in this fight.
No.
I'm going with the real mauler in this fight, Andreas Gustafsson.
Yes!
I knew that was going to happen.
You were lying to me. I don't know if I could trust you with anything else, bro.
Look, yeah, I mean, you guys put it out really nicely. Rinat's undefeated in the UFC on paper, but he's been fading hard late in fights. That Dalby split was sketchy. The Carlos Leal fight, straight up robbery. he was gassed and just throwing windmill punches like it was an amateur match. Like Gustafsson, on the other hand, is a tank, constant pressure, and the kind of relentless style that breaks guys who can't keep up. So I think Gustafsson drags Rinat into deep water and either wins a decision or maybe even finishes late. If he's going to get the finish, I think it's going to be in the third round. He's a better version of the guys that have already pushed Rinat to the brink. Like Rinat has been skating by.
Yeah.
It's got to end at some point. I think it ends here. So yeah, give me Gustafsson as well.
Let's go Gustafsson.
And
he's flipped from underdog to favorite money now. He's minus 115 on DraftKings.
So it's basically a pick'em. That's what I was gonna say.
It's a pick'em, yeah.
It's a pick'em.
Yeah, it's a pick'em. Should be a good one. Let's move on to the next fight. We're going to the middleweight division, one division up. Brad Tavares versus Robert Bryczek, or Bryczek.
Bryczek,
right?
Yeah,
Bryczek.
I think it's Bryczek.
Okay, Bryczek. All right. 21-11 versus 17-6. Srikar, you're the only one that hasn't started one off. How about you go for this one, for this middleweight bout?
Yeah, this one's a coin flip for a lot of people, but I'm going with the vet here. I'm going with Brad Tavares. Look, Bryczek's 35 years old, and he's still being labeled as a prospect. He's 0-1 in the UFC and lost to Ihor Potieria, a guy the UFC cut not long after. That debut was sloppy, and now he's taking on one of the most experienced gatekeepers in the division. Tavares isn't flashy, but he's solid everywhere. Good takedown defense, solid jab. I think he mixes in the kicks well. If Bryczek catches him clean, sure, maybe he can get the knockout. But Tavares has survived against guys like Dricus and Yoel Romero. Like if he doesn't get caught early, I think Brad mixes it up and wins a decision. Just going veteran savvy here over power punching wild man. So give me Tavares.
You want me to go? I can go.
Yeah, go ahead.
I very much agree. I think Bryczek is definitely a very good MMA fighter. He's solid. He has power. He's athletic and has great low kicks. The thing is, I just think the veteran presence in the octagon is going to be what puts Brad Tavares over the edge. He has a lot of IQ, a little bit of cleaner defense. But the thing is, if Bryczek tags him, it could be lights out for Brad Tavares. But there's really no fluidity in his game. I feel like he's very he's kind of stiff, and it's almost just like one punch. Like he's looking for one punch, and I feel like I haven't seen enough out of Bryczek to be overly confident in picking him against such a prominent UFC veteran. I'm not saying Brad Tavares is a world beater. He's not, but he is a good fighter. He has good IQ. He can counter and he can land takedowns. So I'm going to go with Brad Tavares in this. I think it'll be by decision.
Yeah, I also think it's going to be a decision by Brad Tavares. I mean, you guys said it all. The veteran presence, I think, really gets him over the edge. I will say, though, people are saying, like, oh, I'm more impressed by Brad Tavares. I'm not really impressed with either of these guys. I'm going to be completely honest. Bryczek, like you said, 35-year-old so-called prospect coming off a loss to a guy that's not even in the UFC. Brad Tavares has since 2022. He's won 2 fights since 2022. There were to Chris Weidman and Gerald Meerschaert. One guy was old and washed up. Gerald Meerschaert is terrible. Frankly, I'm just going to put it out there.
Yeah. And Weidman was coming off the nastiest broken leg almost in UFC. Or not even almost. In
Weidman,
history.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. So it's not like he's done much. Like, neither of these guys have done much recently. That's kind of why I lean the veteran presence here. I just think a vet would win a fight against two guys that haven't proven much to me. Frankly, this is probably the fight I'm least excited about on the card, but and I have a go-to decision. That's also probably why I'm not that excited about it, but we're all unanimous on Brad Tavares.
One thing about Brad Tavares, though, he's 16-10 in the UFC, but he has amazing losses. Like, he's lost to Yoel Romero, Robert Whittaker, Izzy, Edmund Shabazi, and Dricus. Bruno Silva's in there.
Again, he's the gatekeeper.
Yeah, RoboCop and Iron Turtle, Jun Young Park. So I think, this is a test for Bryczek, but unanimous sweep for us.
Yeah, it's going to be a test for both, I think. And I think the winner I think this will be a very good win for the other person, proving a decent amount, boosting their stock a little bit. They'll have to prove more, but let's move on to the next fight. Headed back down to welterweight, Sam Patterson, Trey Waters. This is Srikar. You get an at why the?
I knew he was going to do that. It's your tall man battle of the card. That's why I gave you an. I mean, if you want me to go first, both Patterson and Waters are literally built like lampposts for 170. Like they're so lanky, and they've got stylistic overlap too. But there's a real reason to be concerned about Waters. Yeah, he had a fun scrap with Billy Goff, but going life or death with Billy Goff doesn't scream future top 15 contender to me. Patterson, on the other hand, has been low-key stacking solid wins, and the way he uses his length, his striking setups, his distance management, it's all just sharper. He's faster, and he's coming in with momentum. I think he outpoints Waters pretty clean. I'll go Patterson by unanimous decision here.
Ooh.
So my other thing with, if I just want to make sure I have the stat correctly. I mean, the takedown, this is going to be a fight on the ground. Strong takedown defense from Trey Waters. Fantastic takedown accuracy from Sam Patterson. I think that number's a little inflated. Maybe it's not. I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know if they'll be shooting takedowns, though.
I feel like Sam Patterson will. I feel like
I'll check this number for you, Sam, right now. You can keep going.
Yeah, check that number. But I mean, Sam Patterson has won the majority of his fights on the ground. Trey Waters, I think if it were to be a decision, I would go Trey Waters. But like you said, Srikar, he hasn't proven that much to me recently. Sam Patterson's hot right now, man. I kind of like where Sam Patterson's at. I think he's going to submit Trey Waters. I believe that is something that's only been done once. The only other person that did that was Gabriel Bonfim, Contender Series. Sam Patterson's a really good wrestler as well. Don't discredit that. Don't discredit Bonfim either. Two great wrestlers. Give me Sam Patterson by submission here. I like this one, especially another European crowd guy.
Yeah, Sam, you were right. The number is inflated. He has only attempted and landed 2 takedowns in his UFC career.
That's crazy because he is a submission artist and gets to the ground a lot.
Sam Patterson?
Definitely.
I feel like he's more of a point fighter on the feet more than anything.
Sam Patterson has won 54% of his fights by submission.
Yeah, he's
arm triangle choke, rear naked choke, guillotine choke, rear naked choke, guillotine. Yeah, he wins most of his fights on the mat. It may not be like a lot of takedowns, but I also do expect Trey Waters to maybe get on the mat as well. The Trey Waters is a very well-balanced fighter. So if it ever does get to the ground, which I think it will at some point, this fight's not going to be on the feet the entire time. It might start on the feet, but Sam Patterson, like you said, one of these guys will probably land a hit, get to the ground, and then I think Sam Patterson can do the rest.
No, yeah, you're right. He's one of good.
So with that being said, if you're Trey Waters and you knock Sam Patterson down, let him get up, let him be woozy, do it on the feet, and that's how you're going to get the win.
I definitely
agree. Which is a crazy thing to say, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that Sam Patterson's path to victory right here, and this was written in my notes before. Now that you guys said that, it kind of made me second guess myself, but I'm not gypping our audience of anything. I'm telling you my pure thoughts of what I wrote down. But yeah, I think Sam Patterson's going to win this by submission, not decision. I kind of went back and forth between that, but I think Trey Waters is a very sharp striker. He's really lengthy, and even though Sam Patterson is also tall and lengthy, I think that Trey Waters has the advantage on the feet, in my opinion. He's very powerful, and yeah, I mean that fight with Billy Ray Goff definitely kind of puts a stain on Trey Waters. Like, oh, he went life and death with Billy Ray Goff. Like, is that really a guy that you think you should be life and death with? But in my opinion, I think that Sam Patterson, he's gonna find a way to get the submission. He's not going to necessarily shoot takedowns as much as we would think. I think it could be, someone in the clinch, maybe working his way to the back, jumping on the back, something like that. But if you really wanted to shoot takedowns, I think Sam Patterson can mix in the strikes and then level change. I think that's a very good path, but it'll be interesting. I think he will find a submission, though.
Yeah, I mean, all unanimous. I think this will be a good one. I think at the end of the day, you could get it really could be knockout or submission or decision. Like, this is one I can see going anyway.
It could be one of the 3 options.
Exactly.
There's only 3 ways that actually, well, no, technically, there's
more.
5 ways the fight could end. It could be
a draw.
DQ, no contest.
It could be a DQ, no contest, knockout, submission, draw.
One day we should predict a Cody Brundage fight to end in a DQ or no contest. I think we'd actually have a good shot.
Dude, I feel like you can make good money on that.
I matchmake him against Srikar, so he could.
Oh gosh, well you fed Cody Brundage. You fed Cody Brundage to the next O'Malley.
I did, yeah. To get him out of the UFC. Man. Let's move on though. Harry Hardwick versus Kauê Fernandes. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. Harry Hardwick versus Kauê Fernandes. I'll start here. I mean, Harry Hardwick making his debut on very short notice. This is a week's notice. Kauê Fernandes has been prepping for this fight for a while, going up against Fares Ziam, who is probably one of the most disrespected guys in the lightweight division. If I'm being completely honest, this guy should have got a ranked opportunity. Seems like people are scared to fight him. Kauê Fernandes is not. Harry Hardwick also not good for him for taking this fight, but this is just like too short notice for me to pick and have any confidence of him. Give me Fernandes in this one. We'll go Fernandes by knockout here, I think. And I was debating knockout or decision, but I like Fernandes in this. I don't think Hardwick gets it done coming on such short notice into the UFC. It's a different beast. And we've seen fighters this year come into the UFC and just had their been absolutely ragdolled. I don't think could be a ragdolling. I'm not going to lie. But I think Fernandes has the huge advantage here. The odds on this one don't say a lot, but I think they should be higher.
Yeah, this is a low-key good matchup. Hardwick's a serious British prospect, no doubt, but Kauê Fernandes is the real deal too, especially on the feet. And with Hardwick stepping in on short notice, that's a tough ask against someone this talented. He'll have his moments in the UFC for sure, but this might be a little too much too soon. I'll go Kauê Fernandes. I think it'll go to decision. I think it'll be a unanimous decision win for Kauê, but I think it could be a scrap. I think this could low-key be a really good fight.
I think it could too.
Yeah. Before I make my prediction, just want to say prayers up to Fares Ziam. He lost his grandmother, and that's the reason that he stepped out of this fight. I'm sending my prayers your way. Completely respect your decision. Got to do what you got to do. And I hope the UFC and MMA community is behind you for that. But yeah, I think that this is going to be a good fight considering how short notice it is. Harry Hardwick is a Cage Warriors champion, and we've seen the pipeline of Cage Warriors to the UFC. Ian Gary and Paddy Pimblett, to say the least. So I think that's very noteworthy. And yeah, I mean, kind of different bases. I think Harry Hardwick's more of a well-rounded MMA fighter. Kauê Fernandes is more of a powerful volume striker. And yeah, I think Kauê definitely will be at an advantage here just because of how short notice it is. But give me Harry Hardwick to make his UFC debut in a big way. The Cage Warriors pipeline is real. I think he's going to make a huge statement with this. He's ready. He might be a little bit of a slower striker in this, but hear me out. Kauê Fernandes does not have good takedown defense. He's getting gassed up because he beat Guram Kutateladze, who is an absolute fraud. A fraud.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
He is a fraud, bro. He is a fraud. Plus 300 against Ziam, and now he's minus 200 purely because of short notice. In my opinion, that is purely because of short notice. And both of his losses to Mark Diakise and Luan Sardinia, which was an LFA, this wasn't even the UFC, he was taken down and controlled. Harry Hardwick, good striker, kickboxing base, but he mixes in takedowns very well. He's never been knocked out in his career. Never been knocked out. He's only been submitted through multiple 5-round fights. So I think this is going to decision. And yeah, I think that he's going to make his statement in a big way. He's in Europe. He's at home. Give me Harry Hardwick by decision. That's a dog pick plus 150 on the books.
I like it. I won't lie. By the way, just talk about Harry Hardwick's nickname, Harry Houdini Hardwick.
Yeah.
So hard. Oh, man.
Telling you. He's about to be Houdini the way he beats Kauê Fernandes and then just dips. Going back to England with the lads.
Going back to England. That'd be crazy. So, Chris, the lone wolf on this one, are we getting a... We doing it? Woo! There you go. But let's move on.
Sorry for all the headphone users.
All good. Let's move on to the next fight. Marcin Tybura versus Ante Delija. Delija making his debut against the number 7 fighter in the heavyweight division. They need heavyweight crosses badly. I'll let you guys start because you guys have been talking about this fight for a while, I feel like, in our chat.
Srikar, you love Ante
Delija. I love Ante Delija, man. First off, finally, bro. Right? Finally, Ante Delija is making his UFC debut.
Heavyweight division is getting stacked.
I know he's not exactly a young prospect at this point, but he's got that scary potential to come in and shake things up at heavyweight. The dude is massive. Like, legitimately enormous. Pause.
Yeah.
He's been putting in work with guys like Tom Aspinall behind the scenes and on the regional circuit, just a straight up wrecking ball. We're talking brutal knockouts and a pretty underrated ability to mix in wrestling when he needs it. Now, Delija has had issues with smaller, quicker guys in the past, but that ain't Tybura. That's not what he's dealing with here. Across from him, you got Marcin Tybura, the ultimate heavyweight gatekeeper. He's not bad anywhere, but he doesn't really shine anywhere either. What he does have, though, is fight IQ. He knows how to game plan and how to find a way to win against guys who leave openings. That's how he's stuck around for so long. But here's the thing. When Tybura faces a hammer, he often becomes the nail. And once that momentum starts swinging against him, it's hard for him to flip the script. He beats guys like Alexander Romanov or Tai Tuivasa, guys who gas or guys who are kind of one-dimensional. But when he goes up against someone with a fully loaded skill set and power to match, he tends to fold. And that's where Delija comes in. He's just so much bigger and more aggressive in every position. You want to strike, he'll crush you. You want to wrestle, he'll outmuscle you. Even if Tybura can hang in the early moments, it's only a matter of time before the power starts breaking him down. I think Delija is being massively undervalued here. It's a pick'em right now. I think Delija should be a clear odds-on favorite. Stylistically, physically, even just momentum-wise, this is his fight to lose. I'm calling it. Ante Delija by first-round knockout.
Ooh.
Book it.
Bro, Srikar,
I am super high on this guy. He's going to knock out Tybura round 1.
Did you just write a poem on that? Like, that sounded like a poem. Like, it was...
I told you, man, when I do this film study, I write my notes down and I compile it into a nice little breakdown. That was literally like a poem, man. Yeah, I appreciate
like a serenading poem.
Yeah, that's why if y'all saw me smiling above Srikar, I was just like holding that thought and I was like, oh, and then he kept going and going and going.
So man, I
can't top that. I can't top that at all. You know what? Listen to what Srikar said. I got Delija by knockout too. That's all I'll say. We'll make this go quick. Nothing can top that analysis.
Yep. Srikar said it perfectly. Ante Delija by knockout. It's experience with Tybura versus momentum with Delija. Some good fresh blood in the heavyweight division. More active, athletic, and aggressive. You got it.
Let's move on. All 3 picking Delija, who should be a ranked fighter after this win if he gets it done.
Definitely. He'll be a top 10. He'll be in the top 10 if he wins this fight.
1 division down. Umar C versus Brenson Ribeiro. Umar C was on the Atlanta card, I believe it was. And
minus 700 and lost.
Yeah, crazy, man. Alonzo Menafield getting it done. This guy was a guy who was due to get that ranked opportunity. But now he's back in Paris. He's had time to cover up his mistakes or learn from them, I should say. He's another heavy favorite in this one. I think this time he gets it done. Give me Umar C in this one. We'll go... I'll go by knockout. Why not? I'll go by knockout. Umar C by knockout for this one. It's kind of crazy how he lost the last one. Such a heavy favorite and just falls apart. That's your first one loss. If he gets a second loss, this could be a fraud check for Umar C. But just such a lanky guy, and has the home crowd. Hopefully has learned from his mistakes. I think he could smoke Ribeiro here.
Yeah, Chris? I agree. I think he's going to bounce back in a big way. He's in his home country. And I think the French crowd really does give their fighters superpowers with their energy.
They do.
Obviously, I think he realizes he's kind of on a hot seat a little bit. So I think he's going to come out.
Oh, if he loses this, it's the fraud check. It's like fraud check.
Yeah.
Has to win this fight.
I mean, against Menafield, I feel like it's like Menafield he's a good fighter when it comes to up and comers. So it was just disappointing because he was rated as such a high favorite. But I think against Ribeiro, I think he can really show his prowess, technical striking, and he'll find the chin eventually and put him out. So Umar Sy by knockout.
Yeah, Umar Sy all day. He's one of the top prospects out of France. He's big, long, and is a total showcase spot, man. Ribeiro has power, but his defense is leaky, and he's been finished multiple times. Sy can win this wherever it goes. Striking, grappling, doesn't matter. I think he takes his time, and honestly, I think he finishes Ribeiro inside 2 rounds. I
completely agree with that.
This has to be the bounce back spot for Umar Sy. Like, it just has to.
Yeah. If you don't win this fight, I would not be. It's a crazy thing to say. He could get cut if he loses this fight. That's a crazy thing to say.
I don't know if he's getting cut, but yeah, he's short leash. I
mean, sure. You are a -700 favorite to probably the worst guy, arguably one of the worst ranked fighters outside of heavyweight.
But to be fair, Menafield and Sy was for a ranking. So to cut him one fight out after he was just kind of fighting for that ranked spot.
I guess. I mean, when you're a -700 favorite,
he'd be on hot water, like he'd
hashtag justice for Martin Budai.
We need justice for him, man. But yeah,
if it meant getting Ante Dalia, then hey, sure.
Why not? Yes, Umar Sy, we're all going. Let's move on to another French prospect, William Gomis, taking on Why Is Your Face So Big? Oh my Lord!
Oh man!
Is that telling me to take Ruhala?
I think it's screaming. Take Robert Ruhala. They're like blocking every. It's like they don't want you to see what's going on with his stats.
Don't even look at the stats. Just look at his face.
Look at his face.
Awesome.
I'll just zoom in right here.
Robert Ruhala.
All right. Well, enough with the face. I'm just gonna take this off for now. Chris, what you got for this featherweight bout?
Yeah, I think Ruhala, obviously the website wants us to take him. I'm not going to. I think Gomis is a very good fighter. I think he'll win this by a unanimous decision, but Ruhala is dangerous very early too. He comes out swinging. He can maybe steal a round, maybe the first round with a takedown and kind of try and pick Gomis apart. I just think Gomis is very technical and he has a lot of composure in the octagon as opposed to Ruhala, who comes out very aggressive, guns blazing. It's almost like obviously I'm not comparing that to this, but in terms of fighters, it's kind of like Pico versus Lerone. Lerone is a very technical and composed fighter, and Pico kind of came out very aggressive. And I think that Gomis, I don't think he's going to knock him out, but I think he's going to make him pay for that. He's going to wait on his shots. He's going to pick them perfectly, and he will coast to a nice unanimous decision victory.
Yeah, I mean, the UFC website, they're telling me to pick Ruhala, but guess what? Ruhala, the UFC website, you guys are not the best website. Fix your website.
Yeah,
I put this up on the
stream
because they give good stats. It's from the UFC. I want to make it as official as possible. You can see both the fighters' faces. But you know what? You guys ruined this fight for me. The website needs to be fixed. Please.
Shout out Tapology. Tapology for this sort of
stuff.
Tapology
is the best website. And hey, maybe forward, maybe that's what we use.
Sherdog is also fire.
Potentially.
Sure.
But you know what? Yeah, give me Gomis in this one. I also have him by decision. He lost to Hyder Emil last fight, another up-and-coming prospect. And
that was a close one.
It was a close one, man. Split decision against like I said, up-and-coming prospect. They gave him a good big test, and he did pretty well in this one. Again, I don't want to keep bringing this he's back in Paris, he's doing this. But this is another one where I think I don't know if Ruhala stands much of a chance against William Gomis. I think it will go to decision. I do like you. I like how you said I think Ruhala could get the first round because I think he will come out strong, but I just think Gomis is going to have all the momentum on his side to finish this fight by decision. 29-28, probably UD was what I'm predicting.
Yeah, I'm also going to stick with the hometown guy, William Gomis. Ruhala, he has that awkward, almost like bare knuckle style, like brawler energy. A lot of pressure, but not a ton of finesse. Gomis, meanwhile, he's slick, fast. He moves beautifully around the cage. unless Ruchala drags him into like a nasty clinch war and somehow controls him, I see Gomis just picking him apart from range. I think Gomis by decision is the most likely outcome here. If you have the double chance opportunity, I think Gomis by decision or Ruchala by knockout would be your best bet. Because if Ruchala is going to find that finish, it's going to be in the later rounds, trying to see if Gomis fades. But in those first 2 rounds, Gomis is going to have enough to just dance around him and win that technical war. So, yeah, give me Gomis by decision.
That wraps up the prelims. 2 fights we're different on. I haven't lone wolf once yet, so maybe something changes on the main card. And boy, this fight here.
Oh gosh.
Oh my God. I am so excited for this one. Patricio Pitbull versus Lacena Keita. Guys, if you haven't watched Lacena Keita's footage from Octagon or fights from let's move on to Axel Sola versus Rhys McKee, a debut for Sola in France in the welterweight division. Srikar, I'll start with you first. What you got?
Let me just check the odds real quick.
No, the odds for this one are Sola is minus 135.
All right, I'm going with the dog here.
Ooh,
Rhys McKee. Axel Sola is getting the Paris debut treatment, but he's a lightweight moving up to fight a guy in McKee who has been in the UFC, left, and just looked fantastic in his return against Daniel Frunza. McKee's big, long, and he knows how to push a pace. Sola's a solid, dirty boxer with a good jab and elbows. I mean, he's there to be hit. Like, he's straight up hittable. And McKee throws crisp, straight shots from range. I think Rhys McKee hurts him early, might even finish him. If it goes 3, I think he's still live for a decision too. I'm going McKee. This is an underdog pick I feel good about. So, yeah, this is my dog of the card, Rhys McKee over Axel Sola.
You want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
I almost disagree with Rhys McKee hurting him early. He's more of a late round fighter, in my opinion. Like, he really does a lot of his damage as the fight goes on. And other fighters.
I mean, Daniel Frunza got knocked down 3 times in that first round.
Yeah, but Daniel Frunza isn't Axel Sola.
But Rhys McKee can still lay it on you in the first round.
He can. The thing is, I just think that's where Axel Sola's makes most of his, emphasis in the octagon. I don't know if that's the best way to describe that. I think that's where he does most of his damage. He comes out guns blazing. He pushes a fast pace. He's known for overwhelming the fighters. And I think that it could very well come down to the 3rd round. I think Axel Sola is definitely going to take the 1st round, in my opinion. He's going to feed off the crowd. And I just feel like it's so hard to take other fighters when you have such a lively crowd, especially like France. And I know it's like not the same as other sports, but I feel like it is, though, in my opinion. It feels like a soccer match. And when you're a fighter and they're rooting against you, there are few fighters, in my opinion, that can mentally overcome that and just, stay locked in and play and fight their fight. I think that Sola has speed and explosiveness, but
I disagree. There's definitely fighters who can overcome that. I feel like when you go into the octagon,
did that.
No matter what venue you're at, people are rooting against you. Why would it matter?
People train for that. This is like a college football. You can think of like a college football game.
It's different when there's however many thousand in that arena, like actually deafening. Like it's not like people chanting like, "Oh, I hate you."
You got to be ready for that. I think there's no semblance of a home octagon advantage. It's just like it's there and people are supporting you, but people aren't actively rooting against you. I feel like that goes for any venue. Like
in France, they will be rooting against Rhys McKee.
When France goes out, sings the national anthem during Srikar and Tai Tuivasa. During that moment, like right after that moment, Tai Tuivasa drops Srikar. Like it doesn't affect them as much. They're just supporting Srikar, and Srikar feeding off them, be like, "Oh yeah, nice," and then he got dropped. So it doesn't make like the biggest.
Regardless, I think Axel Sola is going to come out. He's going to bank early rounds, and Rhys McKee is going to have to fight with the intention to finish Sola in the 3rd round. So that is my opinion. But Sola can definitely fade. He is kind of known as someone who does fade a little bit. So that's why I think he's going to come out powerful early.
Yeah, this is kind of a tough one, I'm not going to lie, because you look at all of Sola's fights, he doesn't get it. He doesn't necessarily get the job done early. And I think that's what he has to do to win this. And with that being said, McKee, I mean, he just has not impressed me that much. His win against Frunza was like, I mean, it was a doctor stoppage. He did dominate that fight. But that's his only UFC
It should have been
man.
called a knockout long before.
It should have been called a knockout. Let's be real. It was a dominant fight. Probably could have been a 10-7, honestly, which is a crazy thing to think. Man, I'm gonna go.
And by the way, Rhys McKee is from Ireland, right? So
yes,
he's not that far off from his home crowd.
I'm gonna go with McKee by. I'm gonna go McKee by finish here. I think he gets the knockout.
Oh,
I'm saying this because Sola needs. If Sola wants to win, it's more about Sola and not about McKee as to why I'm picking McKee. So the way that Sola wins this fight is getting off to a good start, which he has proven he is not great at. McKee's key to winning this fight is getting off to a good start. If Sola can't get off to a good start, you know who is? Rhys McKee. And that's where he comes in, and that's where he wins the fight. But with that being said, be warned that if Sola survives the first round, it might be cooked for McKee. If he's showing,
I feel like it's completely the opposite. I feel like Sola comes out.
I'm actually going to be ready to live bet Rhys McKee. If
I would think if Sola comes out fast to start, then you live bet Rhys McKee because he's gonna fade. I don't like. I think you got it mixed. In my opinion, obviously it's your analysis.
I mean, Sola has won the majority of his fights by decision or past round 2.
No, exactly. No, but he comes out
Rinat.
fast early, and then he gives himself enough of a lead to be able to kind of dwindle in the third round and just not get knocked out.
Rinat Fakhridinov has won most of his fights by decision, but it doesn't mean that he doesn't.
Rinat Fakhridinov also is a terrible third round fighter.
Yeah, I know he's a terrible third round fighter. I think McKee usually, I think McKee does come out very strong often. I mean, you look at some of his wins, especially in Cage Warriors. Well, hold on. Was I looking at the wrong
with
thing?
It though? If you're taking Rhys McKee, then I'm with it.
Wait a minute. Wait.
I will gladly take
thing.
the lone wolf against someone who has only won one fight in the UFC.
Yeah, I'm still gonna go McKee for this one. I think
cool.
I'm sticking to my point. He's proven early that he can start off fights well. I did kind of look at the wrong thing, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm still gonna go McKee for this one. I still feel a little more confident about that pick. And Sola, if he fades, man, it's not going to be good. Whether he fades round 1 or round 3, both these guys need a good start to win. I think McKee has a bit of an upper edge for that. So
dog money,
Chris,
and you can get something even better.
I mean, dude. Also, I'll just throw out a few more stats. McKee,
that was the lamest howl ever.
Yeah, sorry, I'm a little tired, but yeah, McKee also absorbs 8 strikes per minute. So
yeah,
dude's about to get his face bashed in.
Well,
maybe for the first 2 rounds at least, but
let's move on to this one right here. Bolaji Oki versus Mason Jones. Chris, you gave me a good yes out of this one. You want to get into it?
Sure. I think that this is going to be a very fun fight. Mason Jones coming back. Well, he just won his first fight back in the UFC against, excuse me, I'm sorry, I kind of forgot. So I'm using the GOAT website, Tapology. Jeremy Stephens. Yeah, Jeremy Stephens. He went to Cage Warriors, won 4 straight, which is very impressive, especially in Cage Warriors. 3 of them by finish in the first and second rounds. But comes back, beats Jeremy Stephens, who, if you know UFC or MMA, old. He's a bare knuckle boxer now. So that goes to show. But still, good win. I won't discredit him for that. Jeremy Stephens.
There are a lot of Cage Warriors guys on this card.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like that's the Cage Warrior area. That's where they pretty much get all their prospects in Europe. But yeah, this is going to be a classic striker versus wrestler matchup. Jones, if he can take down Oki and avoid damage on the feet, he will coast to a decision win. Do not get me wrong. Oki keeps it standing. He's going to overwhelm Jones. He's definitely faster, cleaner shots, more power. Now, can you just go to the takedown defense, Sam?
Oh,
that's an 85% takedown defense against a 52% takedown accuracy. I think that Balaji Oki will survive any form of wrestling. If he gets taken down, he'll get back up to his feet, and he does not. And Mason Jones does not want to strike with Balaji Oki. He will put your lights out. I think that Balaji Oki, I'm going to say it's by decision, but I think it'll be a good fight, in my opinion. Give me a dog.
Mason Jones is back in the UFC, and honestly, I think the second run already looks way better than the first. He's 16-2 overall, and honestly looks like a completely different animal. I don't think this is the same Mason Jones, and I think that's where I kind of disagree with the pick from Chris. Now, Balaji Oki has legit power, like he can crack, but Mason's got a concrete chin and just doesn't go away. Add in the fact that Oki tends to crumble under pressure. I mean, that's bad news when you're facing someone like Jones because he never takes his foot off the gas. I think Mason Jones will get it done by decision or late finish. I don't think Balaji Oki will actually succeed with the wrestling as much as you guys may think he will. But if it's on the feet, I think Mason Jones stands a way better shot than you may think. I think Balaji can definitely crack. Like, he has good power, but again, Mason can eat those shots. He really can. And when he comes back with stuff of his own, Balaji can start to get reactive. So yeah, give me Mason Jones by late finish or decision.
Yeah, this is a good one. I think people are underestimating. I think, first of all, you look at this takedown defense, Chris. You think this is advantage Oki. It is. This also, like, I feel like on the feet, these guys, I mean, I think this fight will be on the feet no matter what. And I think this will end in a finish. But I like Mason Jones's chin a little more, and that's why I'm going with him. Because here's the thing. If he can land a hit on Oki, it's going to be on the ground, and he is great at finishing a fight on the ground. That's where a lot of his knockouts have come, ground and pound. I'm going to go Mason Jones by a finish here. I'm going to go by a late round knockout, but this is going to be a close one. I was very close to picking Oki because honestly, this is one of those, like, one punch is going to change this entire fight. But give me Mason Jones for this one, the Welsh guy up against the Belgian, who has a little more of an advantage, but that's back-to-back going against that French advantage for me. So, yeah. You guys aren't giving me any picks to be lone wolf, unfortunately. We'll see if
I will definitely take another lone wolf pick.
There you go.
I don't know. Well, just a little bit on Srikar.
My bad.
Thing. Like the second run in the UFC, I'm sorry, but I'm not like, yes, he looked a lot better in Cage Warriors and he looked good against Jeremy Stephens, but it's Jeremy Stephens. Like,
yeah, but he can still look way better. Like,
oh yeah, I agree, but I don't know. I'm buying into the Balaji Oki hype, and I think that it'll be very interesting from someone who landed 153 significant strikes in his last fight. So I think that's yeah, we will see. I'll take 2 back-to-back lone wolves. Oh, sorry,
I was too late to click on the
50 bark or whatever.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to what I believe. No, I'm not going to say it. I'll wait. Modestas Bukauskas versus Paul Craig. Bukauskas is going to win this fight. I think you go Bukauskas by knockout. Craig will try to take the feet, but Bukauskas is just so much better as a striker, standing up there. I think this is a little unfair to Paul Craig, in my opinion. Give me Bukauskas by knockout. I don't really need to say anymore. I was going to say Hydrogen Bomb versus Coughing Baby.
I think that's pretty much cursed after Shanghai. I don't think you can say it anymore.
Yeah. Well, I gave the what was my Hydrogen Bomb versus Coughing Baby one? It was it was one that won the fight, I think.
Was it the Ija versus Weston Wilson?
No, it was the hold on, UFC Shanghai. It might have been Aljo.
Huh.
No, it was interesting.
I mean, it kind of was, but
was it Niraji? I forgot which
one. Oh, Tylock Niraji and Kiefer Crosby.
It might have been that one. Yeah.
I do agree, though. I mean, this one feels tailor-made for Modestas. Paul Craig dropping to middleweight never made much sense, and honestly, he just looks like a shot fighter at this point, no matter the weight class. His chin is shaky, and Modestas has been swinging with some real venom lately. I think this feels like a clean setup to push Modestas toward the rankings. So give me Modestas Bukauskas by knockout as well.
Yeah, I have nothing else to say. Paul Craig live for the submission. You want to bet that? Good value bet. Be my guest. I won't be. So take that as you will. Bukauskas by death.
Yeah, all three of us. Pretty sad for Paul Craig, but
yeah, I feel like this is a pretty easy one. This next one, though, oh my god, this is the hydrogen bomb versus Coughing Baby. Yeah, that's what I would say.
I wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't go.
I'll say it because Mauricio Ruffy is the best prospect in the UFC. And he is going to be a ranked fighter after this because he is going to knock the lights out of Benoit Saint Denis, a fighter who I've honestly never really been impressed with. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Mauricio Ruffy has an insane finish against King Green in his last fight, 12-1, just on an absolute tear. It's about time this guy gets his ranked opportunity, and I think this is a perfect guy to go against. A guy who, albeit since he had so much hype around him, has not lived up to that hype. And Benoit Saint Denis. I mean, this guy was fighting Dustin Poirier and was the favorite in that fight. That tells you how much hype he had. And he frankly just never recovered from that. He loses to Renato Moicano, who since that fight has not looked great at all. And then he beats Kyle Prepolek. Good submission. It's Kyle Prepolek, though. I'm not like as impressed by him.
I was just gonna say that it's Kyle Prepolek.
Yeah, it's Kyle Prepolek. That's a thing. Meanwhile, Mauricio Ruffy has just been on a tear. He's just 92% knockouts. This guy knows how to finish a fight, man. BSD ain't ready for it. This is give me Ruffy by round one knockout. You know what? Screw it, man. I've never been a big BSD fan personally. Just like I've never really understood the hype. I remember when he was favored against Poirier, I was like, free Poirier money. Hello. The hype's done for BSD. This is his last chance to really live up to that hype in Paris, and he's gonna lose in a round one knockout. It's gonna be a sad ending for BSD. By the way, I saw a tweet. Someone said he looks like Oscar the Grouch from Sesame Street, and I thought that was the funniest thing.
It looks like he doesn't have a mouth almost because his beard.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, it's just like so high up.
Yeah. Chris, you want to go or you want me to take this one?
Yeah. I mean, I think BSD is a good fighter. Don't get me wrong. He's very well rounded, and he really could be comfortable if the fight does go to the ground. The thing is, I just don't think he wants to do that. I think he wants to stand and strike with Ruffy. And that's not the guy you want to stand and strike with. Ruffy is
the last guy you want to stand and strike.
Yeah, he's absolutely amazing. He just surprises me every single time he comes into the octagon with. It's like, oh my gosh, that was just so crisp and powerful. And obviously the King Green, that knockout was absolutely unreal. And I think BSD is going to give him a little bit more of a tougher test than we think. I think he will be able to stand and trade with Ruffy, but ultimately I think Ruffy will find the chin, and this fight is ending by knockout. Don't get me wrong. I'm just going to take Mauricio Ruffy to end it, and I'm going to say round 2 knockout.
Yeah, I don't get it twisted, man. Like, BSD still brings the heat. He's an absolute marauder in there, as Joe Rogan would like to say. Mauricio Ruffy, the guy is oozing star power. Straight up, yeah. I think he has the swagger and the sharpness of an early Conor McGregor.
This is a future. This guy will be fighting in a championship bout in 2 years from now, maybe under.
I think it could be, honestly, 2 years probably.
Within the next 2 years. Well,
We've never seen him tested on the ground, though. That's the one thing that
but I think that's the thing. Like, people want to assume he can't grapple, and I think that's wrong. His whole camp, the whole Fighting Nerds team, is elite in wrestling and scrambling, and Ruffy is showing flashes.
They'll put him up.
I do want to see him apply that, though.
Yeah,
he can. He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to. That's the thing.
Yeah, he doesn't. You're right.
Yeah, I'll make a.
If it gets there, go ahead.
I'll make an early prediction. If you want to see a wrestling, year time from now, he's going to be facing Arman Tsarukyan in one way or another.
Interesting.
I think he can hang. Like his whole team is elite. Like there's no way he didn't pick up at least some stuff from there. Like Damian Maia's grappling coach is a lead trainer at Fighting Nerds. So I think he's going to be fine. But the game plan for BSD, I think, is honestly pretty simple, which could segue. I think he has to wrestle and hurt him early. He's got to get inside and dominate the scrambles. No extended kickboxing exchanges. No playing the range game. Just smash him to the canvas and keep him there. But the problem is, if Benoit can't get that done, or worse, if he slows down like he did against Moicano, Ruffy's going to piece him up. We're talking knees on entry, tight elbows, maybe even a low-key submission attempt in a scramble. If this fight ended in Ruffy by submission, I would not be surprised.
I would take back everything I said about grappling.
I'm going to tell you that right now. It could happen. Will I pick it to happen? No, but it could. And let's not forget, BSD got tagged a lot by a 1 week notice Kyle Prepelec.
He did.
Yeah.
If that version shows up, he is in trouble. Bottom line, unless BSD fights a perfect fight and drags this into deep waters on the mat, it is Ruffy's night. So I'll also say Mauricio Ruffy by knockout. I agree with you guys completely.
This is how I think this fight is going to go. Right here is a stress ball. Has a nice little smiley face on it. Oh, here, yeah, you can put it up there.
I'm trying to full screen you.
So, okay, all right. So
I got it.
Right here,
there you go.
Is a stress ball. His name is Stress Ball. See how it's like nice and round right now. Nothing's happening to it. This is going to be BSD in the first round. He's going to be nice. He's going to be a regular fighter. He's not going to be tagged up too bad in the first 30 seconds. I hope not. If that happens, I don't know what to say. But see how a stress ball, eventually it crumbles and it squishes. And eventually it's nothing. That is what Mauricio Ruffy is going to do to BSD. And then it's going to be all over. And eventually BSD will come back to his final form. But he will be like that for a while. Sorry,
that is still a really good looking stress ball. We should
name that, bro. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty firm. That means BSD is durable.
We can name it. You know what?
I'm naming it Benoit Saint Denis.
Name that stress ball Benoit.
Yeah, his name's gonna be Benoit. Everyone say hi to Benoit. Now Benoit is gone.
Benoit.
Benoit is on the floor like he will be on Saturday.
I don't know why my mouse went down there. My bad. But BSD loses this fight to Ruffy. Now we have a French versus a fighting nerd. Let's finish it with a French versus a fighting nerd. Oh my god,
this is gonna be so tough.
This, in my opinion, is, since we've been doing this podcast, this is the hardest main event to pick. You have two elite fighters, an elite striker, an elite jiu-jitsu artist. Oh man, this is tough. Who wants to go first on this?
I can go first.
Yeah, let's do it. I know Srikar. This is a big fight for him.
Yeah, I was gonna get to a pick eventually, but it took a while for me to get there just because, again, this is one of the most 50-50 fights of the year. And I think RDR and Fluffy is the same thing for me. Like I don't know who's winning either.
And by the way, the odds are Imavov is the plus 110 underdog at the moment. Caio's minus 130.
Yeah, this is a banger. Nassourdine Imavov, the French sniper, taking on Caio Borralho, one of the most well-rounded rising contenders in this division. top game is nasty. Strong positional awareness. And when he gets your back, man, it's pretty much checkmate. Like, that rear naked choke is serious. And what makes this fight so interesting is that they're both good everywhere. Like, this isn't a striker versus grappler thing. That's what makes this so hard. They're both technical. They're both durable. Both can mix it up. But I think it's those very small margins that might tip the fight. If it hits the ground, and it probably will at some point, I trust Borralho more to stay safe and maybe even finish. He's just smoother in scrambles. And while Nassourdine has looked better against higher ranked guys, I think Borralho's looked more consistent bell to bell. He doesn't take many risks, but he doesn't make mistakes either. I think this one goes the distance. It's going to be close. Could come down to that final round. But when it's all said and done, I'm leaning Caio Borralho by split decision. I think he edges it out with the wrestling and the control late in the fight, and I think that's going to be the difference. But again, I usually never pick split decisions. This is a fight where I'm picking a split decision to happen. That's how close I think this is. But yeah, ever so slightly, I'm going with Caio to get it done and cement himself, I guess, in one way or another as the next guy for Khamzat Chimaev, depending on what happens with RDR Fluffy. You never know how it's going to end up after a split, but yeah, Caio's the pick.
You want to go, Chris?
Do you want to go? I can go if you want.
I think you should go. No, I'll go. You know what? Screw it. Yeah, I do agree with Srikar that this is going to be a split decision. This is such a close fight. This is going the distance. I don't think anyone gets it done before. And when I look at this fight, I kind of go to defense a little bit. I mean, and they're so close with each other, man. Like, the defense is so good. I think it's really going to come down to who gets battered up the most, whether it be on the feet or on the ground by the end of the fight. To me, the person who gets battered up the most, or the person who can batter the other person up the more, is Nassourdine Imavov, and that's why I'm taking him by split decision here. It's so close, though. And I also will say, Imavov has, out of all the four fighters, out of these two fighters, I won't go out four. I'll go out of these two fighters in the middleweight division who are in potential title eliminators. Imavov has the best chance to be that next guy right away. Doesn't matter what happens in Fluffy and RDR. He has the best chance to cement that he's that guy, he's ready for that next test, and that he can take on Khamzat Chimaev, both on striking and on the ground. Do whatever he needs to do. Caio, I mean, he's in a similar boat. I think Caio would win this fight based on his ground game. I think on the feet, Imavov has that advantage, and I think that's why Caio can get battered a little bit more. And don't get me wrong, Imavov's ground game is fantastic too. It's going to be a split decision win. Could come down to the last round, like we've been saying. I see this kind of like it's not the same with the fights, but the fighters, I should say. But I see it kind of like Robert Whittaker, and RDR, where it's like going into round 5, it was anyone's game. It could be that with this one, but I'm going to go Imavov here. This was a coin flip for me. I've been thinking about this one for a lot. I've been leaning Imavov all day. I think I'm going to stick with that pick. So give me Nassourdine Imavov by split decision. Srikar and I both go in the SD route.
Yeah, this is actually so tough. I really, the whole day, I was at the gym and I was like, oh, I kept going back and forth. One workout, I would have this guy winning. The next workout, I was like, oh, wait, I think he could win. And that's just how I kept ping-ponging back and forth all day. They both bring so much to the table, and I think that's what makes it so hard. And they're almost very equal fighters. And obviously, there's give and take for certain areas of fighting. Like Imavov, elite marksman on the feet, great striking, and he really has power. Caio, decent on the feet, but a very good grappler. Very good. Like you can't really give him too much because he will capitalize and make you pay, and he will end the fight. So what I've seen from both is they kind of have similar fight styles where they come out and they're just very free flowing. They don't let their opponent kind of dictate what they're going to do. If anything, they kind of dictate the fight. And that's hard when you have two people who are the exact same going up against each other, because someone's going to have to lead the dance. However, I do think it's going to go the distance. The over is 4.5 rounds. It's sitting at like minus 240, I believe. Let me see on DraftKings real quick. Shout out DraftKings. Please sponsor us if you see this. It's actually minus 195 right now. I think that is definitely a great bet. It will go the distance. It's so hard to pick against a Dagestani guy, a Dagestani fighter.
But it's also hard to pick against a fighting nerd.
Exactly. It's also hard to pick against an entire gym who has lost one fight in the UFC.
Which
fight.
Could have been one if Prates.
Yes, if Prates wasn't the UFC Marlboro man. However, that's for a different time. Shout out Carlos Prates. You're a dog. Can't wait to see you in November at MSG. But Caio's been with Hamzat. He's been training with him. And I think that he has the well-rounded skill set to eat punches, roll with the punches, land takedowns, and do just a little bit more on the ground than Nassourdine Imavov could. I think Caio's going to throw up sub attempts. I think he's definitely going to be able to contend on the feet, but I'm 1000% giving the advantage to Nassourdine in this. He has earned it. He is an elite striker. I just think that Caio Borralho is just slightly more well-rounded in this fight. I'm not taking a split decision. I'm saying Caio Borralho by unanimous decision.
Ow! 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 I've been waiting to do that all podcast long, man.
You're welcome, Sam.
Oh, I've been
waiting
I for my lone wolf.
I think that the fighting nerds hype is real, and this gym is beyond legit.
It is.
As soon as I picked Ruffy, I'm like, all right, I gotta get the fighting nerd suite, man.
Yeah,
it just has to happen.
I see this exactly. Ruffy's on it. I see this being a big night for the fighting nerds gym. Another clean sweep on another card.
Terrible night for France, by the way.
Yeah, this is gonna.
Because I picked Axel Sola to lose. I picked Benoit to lose. I picked Imavov to lose, and I've picked. I picked Kita to win.
Yeah,
but I've had the three big dogs of France losing.
It will be tough, but I just my decision and train of thought came to buying into the hype, and Caio Borralho, even though he gets tagged a little bit more and he wears the damage on his face more, I just think he's an absolute dog, and I think he can just slightly withstand it a little bit more, and I think he's going to outwork Imavov, but it could 100% go either way. Like, I'm still on the fence about it. I'm not going to change my pick, though, just for the sake of the podcast, because I'm ride or die with all my picks. I bet literally all my picks, even if I think that the other person's going to win, I just have to be true to myself.
You have to,
man. You got to do it, bro. You said it. You win and lose with the podcast.
Yeah.
So, I think it's going to be a great main event, though. Everyone, the audience should tune in. Going to be a great main card, too. And yeah, I'm not sure when we'll be able to do the recap. Not sure about Saturday, probably Sunday, but
we're gonna shoot for Saturday.
Yeah, we'll shoot for Saturday.
We got time. I'm off this weekend. That's all 100%. That matters.
And if we do the recap on Saturday, that will be a live stream. We will send out tweets for that, so you guys can be all up to date. We got all the socials in the corner, so make
sure. Guys,
we're
almost at 100 subscribers. We're gonna do more live streams.
We're almost at 100
subscribers. Please. We have a big 100 subscriber special plan, so stay tuned for that. Hit that subscribe button. Follow us on socials. We'll be tweeting all card long. UFC Paris, guys. This is a banger card. I'm excited for it. But that'll do it from the War Room with Srikar, Rajendran, and Chris Shroyer.
Go Cowboys!
Corcoran. I would say go Niners, but I have some stuff to get off my chest after we end the stream. That'll be private. But anyways, have a good night. We'll see you on Saturday.
Yes, sir.